This might be a shorter one. Had an awesome day. Some things went wrong. Lots of things went right. Some cool surprises here and there. Beautiful weather, which was really fun. Really enjoyed coaching the morning classes at CrossFit Mafia. And just some good conversations, good people, lots of laughs today. Good time with the dogs. Being outside with Cassandra. Took the dogs on a walk. Beautiful afternoon. Midwinter was, can't complain about that kind of stuff. And had some fun insight while I was coaching today. I think you really realize, and maybe you don't notice this, but one of the things I was thinking about as I was coaching is when I'm coaching, I feel so energized. And I think it's like a telltale sign of when you find something you truly love doing and feel purposeful in doing. Because I know there are some things I do, types of work I do, where I'm just sort of like doing it and going through the motions, and you're kind of daydreaming about other things. And when I'm coaching, I dream, sort of. But the coaching, the daydreaming and the dreaming isn't to distract from the coaching or take away from it or escape from it. It's like coaching energizes me to think about like what's next. It motivates me to want to do more. And I'll come into the gym and, bad mood, didn't sleep enough, slept too much, whatever mental attitude that's real crappy. And I start coaching and it just washes that all away. There's a couple other things in my life that make me feel like that. But coaching really and teaching, that really is one. And it's a cool feeling to have. Like I leave that class feeling more energized and just fired up. And like I said, it's a crazy thing. Like I'll have an idea while I'm coaching or think about something I want to do. And the energy I get from coaching, like I'll finish classes and I'll immediately want to go do that thing, which is a really interesting feeling. Like I said, I think that's a telltale sign of feeling passionate about something. And I know, we feel that with various things in our life. And sometimes it's hard to jump into those things headlong because of what other responsibilities or obstacles that we have constructed in our life. But man, as much as you can spend time in that feeling and nurturing that feeling, things will only get better if you do that. I promise you. So really fun classes to coach today. And I wasn't really feeling that excited to work out. I was feeling a little beat up, but I had, coached, felt fired up, and then got sidelined by some work stuff. And then a buddy of mine showed up to work out. Just all around awesome guy, insightful, thoughtful, creative, hardworking, and recent, he and his wife are new dad. He's a new dad. So that's just exciting seeing him go through that journey and embrace that full on. But we did, the class workout was 5 rounds of 2.5 minutes, 500-meter row, and then the remaining time of the 2.5 minutes, you do as many deadlifts as you could at 125, 185, then you rest a minute. It was a really fun workout to coach. Classes did particularly well at it. Recently with the my morning classes, I've been rating their overall performance on the workouts, and they usually score pretty high. They're a great group of people. It's less about are they setting like world record times, and more about like moving well, hitting the stimulus, just being locked in. And I gave the 6:30 a.m. class a 9.5, highest score yet, so they nailed it. A lot of that is in jest. I think they're pretty fantastic 99% of the time, and the other time they're damn near perfect. So there is that. But my buddy, we did a slightly different workout. I was feeling a little beat up from kettlebell swings, sandbags the last couple days. He said his back was feeling beat up, so we twisted it slightly. We did 6 rounds, 2.5 minutes, 1K C2 bike, and then burpee pull-ups. I need an excuse to do burpees. Like I need another hole in the head. I have like almost any time I'm like struggling to work out, just do burpees. Sometimes it's burpees and power cleans, but it was nice to lay off the pulling today. I like that workout. He's a fun guy to chase, hell of a biker. Something about, I don't know what it is with people in leg tattoos are just good at biking. It gives the legs a little extra power. Like a rune tattooed on the leg, a little power up. But anyway, what this got me thinking about was he and I were talking, and like I said, really creative videographer, photographer, storyteller, like I said, story capturer. And so I always really look to him for just insight into like thoughts, ideas. Because I feel like for people who live in the realm of content creation, especially long form content creation like he's done, and he's done a lot of it, long form stuff, worked on the CrossFit Games behind the scenes, done Instagram stuff. He, has done work for other small companies outside of CrossFit. Actually, I think a friend of his had a company that he did work for them called Wildcoat, and they were just on Shark Tank. It's pretty cool. Those are actually really cool coats. You should check them out if you just want literally a wild coat. But I looked to him for a lot of advice, kind of when I'm sorting through like creative ideas or just ideas that requires like just a thoughtful approach. And I was sharing with him some ideas I had for this podcast and some things I'd like to do in the future. I don't want to share it right now because I totally don't want to give it away, especially in case we don't get there or we change it a bunch. But I was laying out the concept of the idea I had, which I received inspiration from something else I've seen. And, he listened to it for a second and then immediately just gave some feedback. And what is so cool about the feedback, and maybe what goes on with, people who are really quote unquote creative, is they have like really high aptitude for pattern recognition. And he was able to just like immediately dissect, the pattern of the thing that I had found inspiration in and how that pattern made that thing successful and what parts of it to change and to have be variable while maintaining this pattern and how to bring that to the podcast. And as soon as he said it, it was really obvious. Hindsight bias is 20/20, but it was really simple and obvious once he said, hey, here's the thing that you should focus on. Here's what you should continue to do. Here's the thing you should maintain. Here are all the things that you should play around with and change. And as soon as he said it, it was really obvious, but I was just so impressed at like the quick ability just for the pattern recognition of what made this method of storytelling unique, but also successful, and then how to put your own twist on it. So I thought it was like a cool thing just to kind of take away to continue to look at the patterns of things. And I think also with creative people, they're able to really quickly recognize some of those patterns, but also kind of like to the curiosity point, very not scared to veer away from the pattern and kind of see what happens, knowing that the pattern is always there if you have to fall back on it. So I was glad I shared that with him. And we did a ton of dumbbell bench press because it's not a workout unless you work chest or arms. Still, after all these years. Something else I want to talk about, and oh man, this one might merit its own podcast, so we'll leave a little cliffhanger, was just the art and practice of saying no and the benefits of that and what that's like and the pitfalls of doing that. So I think we'll save that one because I want to give it more than just a couple minutes. So stay creative. More tomorrow.